Yes.
I know. Is that for me?
Yeah. Is that you?
Oh, not here. No, I'm not. You took the cover me. Okay.
Why? Because I put.
Yes, because I'm just covering for them. I'm an assistant. Office of the city.
Oh.
Because the love is, I'm not assigned. And the love is the last.
I think we're ready to begin. It is 12:02. Call the meeting to order. First order is roll call. All commissioners are here with the exception of Calvin Walker, who has an excused absence. We're gonna go, we're gonna go to tax exemptions first. or
No, to
do you want
the
to-
administration oath, no? Isn't it? Yeah, the first thing, administration oath
Yeah, it's
by the members that are.
first item there. Yeah. So, roll call.
Oh, okay, so this can be in the form of one motion, correct? The minutes and the schedule of
So-
meetings?
So Lina, can we do the oath and then the next day, the other board members take it, the other two pending?
Sir, can you repeat that, please?
The oath
Yeah.
of office.
The five members, do they can take the oath and then the other two pending the next day?
Yes,
All
I
right.
can do it at a later time.
We'll do the oath of office first.
I guess you're gonna have to do it.
Okay,
Stand up.
can members please stand? And we're just going to read the oath of office. Hold your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I state your names. do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office as a Historic Preservation Commission Board Member of the state of Texas and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of this state, so help me God. May take a seat.
So Lina, we have a public comment. Should that go before the presentations and so?
It's the decision of the body, but typically, yes, it's done at the beginning to save everyone's
Right.
time.
So just for your knowledge, I have left this on your table because it's a public comment. Remember that on a public comment, simply the customer is going to address you, the issues and so, and you simply have to listen and later on perhaps decide or whatever, but in another regular public hearing and so. Thank you.
All right, so we need a motion to open public comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Larry,
Second.
second by Martine. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Right.
Just as a
Public-
friendly reminder to everyone that the public comment should not be addressed to any individual, but to the body in general. And if the body wishes to extend the time limits, that would be a separate motion specifically to suspend the rules. Otherwise, there is a time limit imposed on these, and I believe it's 3 minutes.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Michael Garcia. This is my wife, Cynthia,
Campos Garcia.
and we're the property owners of the 3333 East Jefferson Street. And we come today in regards to demolishing, cleaning up the property that we have out there. As you can tell on the pamphlets, we got the main house facing East Jefferson. And behind it, we have two sheds. Unfortunately, one of them got burned down, I'm gonna say.
Back in October before Halloween, and the only way we found out was unfortunately through social media. There was,
If you
it
could
was
speak
actually,
into the mic.
I'm sorry. Thank you. What was I saying?
Social media.
Oh, yes. We found out through social media that one of the homes had burned down, and it's basically right now to the rumbles. We had been having constant issues in that property with people breaking in. So as much as we were trying to board it up, the windows, the doors, it's right behind an alley, so there's a lot of homeless people that go through, a lot of trash that's being thrown out there, a lot of druggies, I guess you can say. We have found vapes on the floor, cigarette butts, beer bottles, just a bunch of stuff. The main house though, which is the one that's here in the picture, that's the main concern as to, I guess, why we're basically here in asking for it to get demolished. That one has been broken into several times. We do not have the funds to restore it. We don't want to get ourselves in debt to take out a big loan to get it restored. I do understand the history behind it. My great-grandparents that built it. It was passed down to my grandparents from there, then passed down to my father. Now it's been passed down to me. The property taxes are up to date. Everything's, the only thing is the concern for this house. My main concern is one of these days, I probably will get a call, or again, through social media, that maybe there was a fire that was caused because somebody broke in because they know it's abandoned. I know at one point when we went out there, October, when the incident happened, one of the police officers actually said that he had gotten a call because there was a lot of noise and loud music coming from that home. He thought there was somebody living there. There was actually people in the front yard on the stairs having a little barbecue, a little party, and they weren't even the homeowners. So that's when I told him, well, the home's been abandoned for years. Nobody lives there. He's like, oh, well, I thought they were the homeowners. I'm like, no. So that's our main concern. And I guess that's why we're here today, to see what can be done. I know that there was an option thrown out there to possibly get it donated. which is, I have no problem with that, because like I said, we do not have the funds to restore it. If it were to get demolished, as of right now, we don't have any plans in building anything on that property. I think that's why we're here. I think that's about it. Anything else? Or any questions?
That's 3 minutes, ma'am. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I'm sorry.
No,
for your
thank you
comments.
so much.
Thank you.
Right, now we move on to a presentation on tax exemptions.
So as always, we are presenting the draft initially an initial draft of the properties that may be of consideration for the 2026 tax exemptions. We start as always with the national and state markers. You can see there the properties, those that are with that kind of orange highlight, those are new. The Olvera, the Martinez Drugs Whitmans, and the Celedonio Garza. We have a total of 46. That means $86,000 of tax exemptions to be provided by the city of Brownsville. This is only the city of Brownsville. As local designated primary resources, we have a total of 27, which would cost $17,000 of foregone taxes, plus these other 23 properties that are substantial rehab since 2014. As you know, the kind of deadline are only 5 years. And the tax exemptions related with these properties are $26,000. And finally, the substantial rehab, sorry, this is repeated. And this other one, that is the new substantial rehab. There are 2 properties and will cost $3,800. So yeah, apart from that, there are 3 properties which deadline has expired. So there will be a saving of $2,000. So the total tax foregone are $133,000. As you can see on the right tables, these are important figures because that relate to what the ordinance says. The ordinance says that you cannot overwhelm the providing taxes. The one that is in bold letters, we are right now reaching the 44% of the amount. But if you consider all the taxes that will be provided, that is a 68%. As you can see, it's climbing, and probably we should have to review in the very near future the tax exemptions, and that's something that probably we are going to do finally this year. Yeah.
Any questions about the presentation? Thank you.
Okay.
The next item can be approved in one motion. It's the approval of the minutes, the schedule of meetings for the commission, and the schedule for the architectural review committee, and appointments for the review committee.
Yeah, but I think that you have to approve it independently.
All right, so can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes from December 12th?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion. And Historic Preservation Commission, schedule of meetings. You should have a copy of that.
Yeah, tell at this point.
You have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Martin. Second?
Second.
Second by Manuel. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Schedule of meetings for the Architectural Review Committee for 2026. Motion?
So moved.
Motion by Larry,
Second.
second by Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Appointments for Architectural Review Committee.
Okay, as you know, this is a subcommittee mainly formed by technical people to address kind of design issues and so provide certain kind of advice to the rest of the committees. It has to be a maximum of 3 to avoid walking quorum. And that has been working since maybe 3, 4, or 5 years. It's not very common that we call for architectural review committees, and usually is when somebody is not very knowledgeable about designs or simply do not agree with the Historic Preservation Office and they want to introduce something that is sometimes is not a good infield. So the appointments have to be created by yourself, appointing people from the board, and only 3 people. Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Calvin.
Do they have to be approved by the rest of the board members, Lina? All right.
It is a motion.
Can we list all 3 names at the same time? And This is
No,
the committee,
one by one, no, just in
or
case.
one by
yeah.
one? Okay. So
In
we have a
case there's an
motion.
issue with any individual.
Okay, so a motion for Calvin,
Second.
second by Martin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
Okay.
Another committee member?
Who else? There are 2 more pending.
Make a motion for Larry.
Motion to appoint Larry Loff, second,
Second.
second by Manuel, all in favor?
Aye.
And
Okay,
for the
and now the
record, I
third one.
believe Mr. Loff abstained from that vote.
Yes. Motion by Larry Loff, yes.
So the third one? Who
Would
moved?
like to. I'd like to make a motion to make third person Martin.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
I don't think you can vote. For you. Can we get a second? for Ricardo?
Okay,
Oh,
Oh.
Martin,
Yeah.
sorry.
all in favor?
Second by Ricardo. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's the committee.
Thank you.
All right, so first item under public hearing is item number 1, 1101 East Levy Street, the Capitol Theater sign.
Okay, so this is the typical structure of a meeting, especially for those new board members. We start with the minutes and we follow through the agenda items, if any, and we start then later with the public hearings, all right? But before the public hearings are being reviewed, this is just a reminder of the kind of principles that you have to take into account. Those are, we are a certified local government since 1986, which means that supposedly all the certificate of appropriateness that you approve and I sign must be based on Secretary of Interior standards. And so sometimes cannot happen for different reasons, and then should be noted because the Texas Commission required to receive all the minutes through the year from the Historic Preservation Office. So these are the kind of principles of a certified local government since practically 40 years ago. Mainly the most important, as you can see, is the letter I that refers to the Secretary Interior standards. You can read the rest in the Certified Local Government Handbook that the Texas Stock Commission has in their website. This is the principles of the Secretary of Interior standards. In bold letter are the most important of them. You can find these also in the National Park Service or I think that on the website of the Texas Stock Commission as well. Then we refer what is the O11 when you have the authority to review the items. It's that line that happens to be with a blue color, and those spots mark the high preservation priority ranking in red, the orange in that are medium, and the yellow that are low, which means that those that are, in many cases, the red can achieve state markers or national as well designations, while the orange, if you do a proper rehab, you can bring up the status of those structures. Then we show the 2 National Historic Districts that we have. Black, those are contributing buildings. These are located just next to the old rail station, which train came here in 1904. So those buildings in black would achieve tax exemptions, exactly the same with the Central Brownsville Historic District. And then this is a reminder of your Unified Development Code that right now says that this is a decision body making board. This is a reminder of what is a denial without prejudice and with prejudice. This is important because in the second case, the customer may have his request delayed 6 months by ordinance. So that's the reason why we try to get everything in place with the sufficient information to avoid this, or simply customer does not want to follow the rules, and then he may be in the case of the third point that is here written. So this is our first review. It's the Capitol Theater sign. As you know, it was approved on August of the last year. The removal subject to bring again the item and find out what could happen. So this is actually what it was introduced on those days when the Capitol Theater was developed. You can see in black and white when it was the first time that appears in the Sanborn map. This is a photograph of the original sign that was lost through the hurricane of 1933. And this is a 1938 sign that is still there. So it was approved to remove, and if you don't mind, I have some more slides behind, but I would defer to the architect to introduce what they have discovered, photographs of the signs and so on, so you can address him any question that you may want.
We'll need a motion to open public comment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jesse Miller. I am one of the principal architects at Megamorphosis. And we were contracted by the city to originally help come up with the design and the engineering for replacing the Capitol Theater roof, because about 2 or 3 years ago, a portion of the roof collapsed and it put the rest of the structure at risk. And so the idea being to build remove all of the existing roof, build a new roof, including the structure, the secondary structure, I should say, and then the building could be made available for restoration in the future. But so this is kind of like a mothballing action. As we got close to wrapping up, as the contractor got close to wrapping up the construction of the new roof, it was determined that the way that the sign is attached to the building would interfere with completion of the roof. So we we got together with the city and thank you. Who's driving? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what photos are being shown, but I'll flip through these.
Following the report that you sent.
Okay. So what came about is we were, we got up in cherry pickers and we looked at I got it. Okay. And we saw that there's definitely damage to the sign, but we were hopeful that maybe it could be salvaged, or if worst case scenario, it could be a replica could be created. So we came to to this body in August, and the decision coming out of that discussion was the authority to remove the sign and have it investigated, and then before anything is put back up, we'll come back to you to share our findings. What was determined is that the existing condition of the sign is just not repairable. Definitely the structure, the internal structure of it is completely eroded or corroded away and degraded. And the exterior panels and the panels that kind of cover up the structural connections are, in our opinion and in the opinion of the signage contractor, beyond the scope of repair. And so what we're coming to you today is to just share that with you and to say, the contractor has begun creating the replica based on, so they've documented all of these existing measurements, the letters, the curvature, the paint detailing. And what they're in the process of doing is creating a replica of that sign. And that should be ready, pretty soon. All of these pieces here that you see will be replaced. We will keep this, there's a top beam that you can see. Well, there's a top beam there. We're going to keep that. That's in good enough shape. It'll be cleaned up. And that's the piece that was interfering with the roof. And so we're working out a detail on how to keep that in place with the structural engineer. But the idea is we'll put the new sign back up and the existing signage components will be turned over to the city for safekeeping, with the idea being that perhaps in the future, the sign could be displayed inside the Capitol Theater once a new use or a new renovation is done. But we don't want to put it back out there now because it would be exposed to the elements still, or to it's not an air-conditioned building. So it would continue to degrade. But the idea being it'll be put somewhere where it can be climate controlled to prevent any further deterioration, and then a future for it could be determined via the city manager's office. Happy to answer any questions or explain anything further if need be.
The new replica sign, is it an exact copy or did they have to make some modifications to the design?
Thus far, it's an exact copy. The one thing we were concerned about is, let's see if we can find it.
Those wings?
Yeah, that's a good word for it. The wings that cover up the structural connections, but after reviewing, these were oversized to begin with. And so the new structural pieces will be covered up and we won't have to oversize those. And they'll be in the same location on the building.
So the original sign can be, it can be reassembled and then stored away.
It can be reassembled probably with some additional, probably need to replace some screws and some bolts, some fasteners. But yes, in general, it can be put back together.
I find it hard to believe that it can't be restored. I personally believe it's a matter of money. And I understand major cities, Chicago, New York, Austin, have the money to do it because most of the signs there are original and they're older than this. I don't know specifically the structure of this, but I think it comes down to budget. And if it's so, it's understandable. But I do believe there's a significance in the original sign. And as you mentioned, if it's going to be something that's going to be kept by the city, I think there should be a commitment by their part to at least restore this and place it somewhere visible before, not before, but at least have the commitment before the new sign is put up. Just, it's easy to speak about it and then it gets forgotten and archived and never touched again. And I think the significance of the original sign is very meaningful to the city. There's not that many original signs from that age. So I do believe a commitment should be done to at least help restore the original and place it somewhere that it could be viewed.
I agree, yes. And that's the thought. We've talked with city management and their recommendation was to do just that. But the cost and I guess the feasibility of repairing these original components, it would be pretty difficult to achieve. Yeah.
Jesse, so you guys are putting up the replica and then keeping the original safe until future notice?
That's right. And it's the city, yes. Megamorphosis won't be keeping the sign. Yeah.
And who's creating this replica? The same contractor? that took
Yes,
it
it is. Uh-huh.
just sometimes things that have been stored, historical things that have been stored, just sort of get lost in the shuffle over years. So we're getting a really good commitment, strong commitment, that the sign is going to be saved, typically held in some place, not just in a storage barn, and then somebody comes in and, oh, what's this?
Yeah, from the conversations that I've had with city employees and city management, that's the plan.
And through the chair, sorry. Jesse, could you tell us what is preventing the city from storing it inside the building since the roof has been restored? My understanding is that there's not going to be any leakage, right?
There won't be any leakage from the roof, but I can't speak for the walls. Just because that wasn't part of of our scope of work. So I think I would not recommend keeping it inside unless it was, put in some kind of a really, really secure thing, like it was encased in something. I would suggest that it be stored in a climate controlled, something like the Levy building or something like that.
So what's the timeline? How long does it take to make a replica?
We're wrapping up a final structural detail, but the contractor is telling us that they're trying to get this wrapped up by the end of February.
Might look nice in E-Bridge.
Look nice in E-Bridge?
Yeah, maybe. They've got enough height, they've got enough space, it's air conditioned.
Interesting
It's
idea.
important, it'll be appreciated, it'll be seen.
Mhm.
It's a neat sign.
Yeah, I'll pass that on.
Yeah, I prefer that it be kept somewhere public where it can be
Yeah.
in sight, because you know how they say out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah.
We could just store it. I mean, we all remember Indiana Jones at the end where they stored the ark and it's lost. I don't want that to happen to the sign. It does have a lot of history. I still remember it as a kid.
Me too.
Going there, walking by, I never went in. So, yeah, personally, I would have preferred some attempt to be made, but I guess budget at the end of the day comes in. But if we could get it reassembled, pass it on to the city, reassembled, and probably kept at the E-Bridge, that would be the most ideal situation right now. Or a similar building that could hold it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I think that already Edge put the Casa de Nylon sign on the interior, no?
Well, I'm not talking about hanging it on the outside. Put it in the interior spaces.
Inside.
Yeah,
Use it
but
as
I
a
mean,
display.
the Edge
So that
building,
it's not, buffeted by the wind and it can be put together without having to be incredibly durable structural.
I think what Juan was getting at is the original Casa de Nylon sign
oh, that's right.
is inside of the,
Okay.
So that could be a good solution. So this is aligned with what the staff recommendation was done and simply do the corresponding questions regarding the feature of the original sign. So it's up to you.
Any other questions, comments?
Just the timeline is for the end of February?
ideally. Pending, yeah.
mean-
Without, yeah, I hesitate to say for things for sure in the construction schedule
I mean,
world these days, but that is
I
the
would
plan.
like to see it, hopefully it would be nice because that downtown, at the
Absolutely.
end of February is Charo Days and all that, and you got all this, we got this massive influx, and that would be something nice to show for our city.
Absolutely. I agree.
Just
And
a
I know
thought.
the Oyster Bar next door is ready to have that street open back up.
All right, motion to close public comment,
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so do we have a motion for this item?
So just one minute. So
For the item?
the upper beam that
So
Mr. Miller, the upper beam that Mr. Miller was referring, you can see it here on the right photograph, that is on the upper area. And the triangle structure is really far gone. You could see it in these photographs where you can see the low one on the left, the middle on the right, and then the upper beam over there. They want to remained as far as I understood from his explanation. So,
Was this a motion for approval or just a report?
no, it's simply an explanation of what
Okay.
he explained. This is a reference of other all signs. Well, you need to, yeah, you need to do the corresponding recommendation to the, so we can know whether you exactly vote.
Could the motion be, to have a firm commitment of its, representation, like fully put it back together,
And put it
somewhere?
on display.
I would,
Correct.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
A motion, yeah, something that was a little bit more certain, rather than just floating along and then who
Lost.
knows? So,
Would you like
you
to make that motion?
want to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion. Oh,
I'll make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for the sign, to have a firm commitment from the city that the sign will be placed in the space of their choosing that's visible and safe.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Second.
Second by
Second by
Mr.
Larry.
Hoff. All in favor?
Aye.
I think that ball went back in your court.
Right. I'm not sure
Yeah, I'm not sure. what
if
you-
we can have that type of motion because we don't have a place. And, E-Bridge is not owned by the city, it's technically owned by BCIC, I think.
I
So-
don't think we said specifically where.
doesn't
I
need it.
think a public place.
Yeah.
Where it's protected and kept.
In other words,
General
the
statement.
city could approach E-Bridge and say, can we store it here? And they could say yes, or it could be stored anywhere the city deems. It could be anywhere on city property or wherever.
Where it's visible.
It's just, we're asking that the city find a place for it.
Yes, okay, got it. Yes, so we will be back with an update on that. If not, my understanding is that at least safe storage would be okay if we're unable to find any location, right?
I think we were stronger than safe storage.
The minutes will reflect more accurately, but my immediate recollection is somewhere that it would be visible and safe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
neither of those
Yeah.
terms
Visible
defined.
and safe.
Okay.
So
We have to-
It's beyond storage.
Mhm.
So should I have to understand that you approve subject to confirmed by the city of Brownsville, the location for the sign, or a future, what? Or a commitment, simply a letter or something?
That was my understanding. There
Yes.
were just restrictions on where.
Mhm.
Mr. Leal?
So yes, so we will have to come up with some locations and update them, but the motion has passed. So the conditions of
All right.
preservation are set today, and we will just provide an update on where exactly.
Right. Are we ready for the next item?
Okay, this is 1836 West Washington Street. This is Consuelo Effie Ingram rental duplex, built about 1929. She had an insurance office here in Brownsville, and she bought this just to diversify her income. In 1936, she sold it to Margarita Ruiz in Chapa, as you can see there. It's a medium preservation priority ranking under the 2018 survey. And now what I wonder is if that facade was really the original one, or it was already altered. And so unfortunately, we don't have sample maps here because it doesn't reach to the 17th Street, in that it's cut on the 16th or 15th Street. So this is the current photograph. It was a duplex. Maybe that's the reason why the house has been considered a medium, as I explained to the property owner that is here. So you can see the two doors at the stream of the house, and on the middle, you can appreciate those single home windows together. So the house is very simple. The right body is protruded to the street. It's far gone. When she bought it, it was in the condition that you are going to check. As you can see, the house is stucco. I don't, maybe this house was originally stucco, or maybe simply it was siding. This was the interior. These photographs were taken during a visit many months ago. And after one month or so, after she bought it, you can see that the previous owner, whom I met, just got it, everything on the interior. There are some things that are in good shape, some others not. She's going to try to naturally preserve the main part of the building and do a rear attached addition to this one and a detached efficiency on the back. These are more photographs of the interior. To the right is the left area of that door, of that main elevation that you saw before. This is a reminder of a traditional neighborhood. So you can see here where the original house has to be fitted on the top left, and the rear addition, having a space of more than 15 feet between those structures where the parking can be located. You can see here with those lines. Now, in this case, the structure has already 3 or 4 spots in the front, so that's okay. Here you can see more the details of how to set the structures, the main and the rear addition, the different types that you can develop. She's going to choose the first one with the main house. And so this is mainly for the accessory building. If she wants to build with wood, those are the recommended, those that are under the pink background, or hardy plank as well. You will see that the drawings show a rear addition in brick, and that's what she is proposing. Board and batten is another finish that she can do with the porch columns, as always, really in compliance with kind of proportions to the height of the front porch that would be to the right of the proposal. Some doors, even when this runs a little bit more to minimal traditional. Regulations regarding the landscape. In this case, there would not be any fence in front because she has the car parking spots on the front. So this is the site plan that she is proposing. You can see the 3 spots on the front. They are already there. The curb is cut. You can see the unit A and B. That's the original building. And then the rear addition, that attached addition, you can see that it needs to go and set back from the left, which pushes to the right that part of the addition in order to have the kind of layout that she would want. That is a kind of a 3-bedroom, and so to get a reasonable return on her investment. Now the warning is that by doing this and putting the windows on the front for the kitchen, that's an alteration that would harm the condition, the status of the house, so it may not get further tax exemptions or tax credits if wanting a designation. This is the proposal of the main facade. You can see that here the main change is simply the windows are going to be shortened because the kitchen, the side elevations. And then the accessory building, what I'm suggesting is that you would see in the layout, you have 2 windows on the upper right area of the big drawing and a door that is perpendicular to that wall. What I'm suggesting is to put the door facing the rear of the main building and simply close the bottom wall so the house will be somehow facing the street and so. Because that works right now as a main elevation. You can see that this is the proposed main elevation with that door facing one of the sides that I'm proposing to close and put then this as the main elevation facing the rear of the main building, and then the door would be towards and next to the left window. She's also proposing, as far as I understand, brick as a finish. What I'm suggesting is to have, rather than brick, wood or hardy plank siding, just because on those days was more typical than having a rear addition with brick. The rest we are okay. We agree with her design, but we want that the alterations would somehow harm future tax exemptions or designations, because the main facade is going to be altered, and also you are going to see a body that is protruded to the right of the main house.
Someone here to speak on behalf of the property? We have a motion to open public comment.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You could state your name, please.
My name is Jacqueline Vasquez. I'm the owner of the property. My original idea was to have it brick veneer just because it's a little bit less maintenance for me, since this is a rental investment property. But I'm actually not opposed to following the recommendations from the city if that's what is needed. But I would like to get the site plan approved the way that we have it, because that would be the best option for any tenants. I mean, if I get it reduced, I would have to reduce it to a 2-bedroom, which would completely change, the type of families and the rental income that I can generate on this property, which was not contemplated when I purchased the property. But I would follow any colors, recommendations, material, whatever needs to be done.
Any comments or questions for?
I briefly heard the explanation for the shift in the back. I think there's about 3 to 5 feet sticking out on the right.
No, it's 1 foot.
Oh, it's 1 foot, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just because the way that the property is, the original property, it's towards one side of the actual lot. So I'm following the side setback lines from the city of Brownsville. So that's why it's a little bit overlapping. I would rather have it just straight, but the city would not allow me to. But it's really just 1 foot out.
Oh, so that's the reason for the offset.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not intentional. It's a.
I agree with Juan's comment to place the door facing the front instead of the side. I think for that style of duplex and a adjacent unit in the back, it should be either the front or the back.
So then summarizing, the main building would be stucco with those 2 front doors and so, and the rear would be fiber cement or wood, and with the door facing the rear building. Okay.
Nothing else? Thank you. Motion to close public hearing?
So, second.
Second by Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. So a motion for the remodel of 1836 West Washington.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
A second?
Second.
Second by Ricardo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Any other business?
Adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Never dies for lack of a second. So moved.
Motion by Larry, second
Second.
by Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, you had your first meeting. Sorry? You had your first meeting. You're now veterans.